92.7 QLZ. It is Styles, joined in the studio right now by Grayson and Elliot from the band Letters from the Fire. Thank you guys for coming in.
Thanks for having us, man.
Making the trip up from St. Louis last night on 3 hours of sleep, from my understanding.
Mm-hmm.
And you're headed back to St. Louis to go spend time at your uncle's, Grayson.
Yeah, exactly. Get some barbecue, pappies.
And then you're on your way to where? North Dakota, is it?
Yeah, North Dakota.
I'm going to Manoy.
Yeah. We have a show on the 7th, so we're looking at everything and thinking maybe we could spend an extra day here. And then when we saw the 18-hour drive, it's like, no, buddy.
That is
done.
done.
Head out tomorrow.
Yeah, we got to go.
Gotta love being the fact that you guys are the drivers of the car, too. You're not in a bandwagon or a bus, so you're the ones who have to share the duties. Is it equal throughout the entire band, or is it like one or two guys?
Clayton usually takes the morning drives.
He takes the most of them.
Yeah, him and Ben drive a lot.
It's always funny because I've heard so many arguments between band members, or jokes like, oh, this guy refuses to drive. He claims he needs contacts or something, or there's always an excuse somewhere from somebody who doesn't want to drive.
I don't drive.
But
I sleep a lot.
Yeah, so the four of us drive, but yeah, I mean, it's mostly the three of them on normal stuff. I take all the crazy shifts. Like when we did.
So you're the overnighter?
Yeah, when we did the Indiana to Morristown, it was the Gigit Fest. Yeah, that whole drive was me.
How long of a drive is that, for those who don't know?
8 hours? 8 hours, yeah.
8 hours.
So we did it was like 1 to 9 a.m. And I still didn't get to bed until 11. It's like.
So you drove the entire night, and then maybe got some sleep about an hour and a half later, 2 hours later after you got there.
Yeah, something like that.
And we had to play during the day. So
yeah,
literally get there, unload, maybe not for your case, Grayson, and then get up and play.
No, we unloaded right when we got there. I'm like, we're doing this now. I'm like, all right, let's go.
For all of you out there that are in bands and think it's glamorous to be on the road, these are the stories we're telling right now for you.
Oh yeah, it's great.
The guys from Letter in the Fire in studio, Grayson and Elliot, joining us, and of course, you guys right now is the album's done, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yes,
pretty much.
Yeah, the album is all tracked, maybe some final edits being mixed, and yeah, basically done.
So what's the date? Because I know it keeps changing. What's the date right now at this moment that we have for the album?
Well, we have the EP date.
Okay.
Yeah.
The EP date is August 19th, so it's coming up here very, very soon.
Which is what I have in my hand right here for those who can't see.
It is what you have in your hand. So
Yes.
for everyone who is in a city that we're going to be playing at with Trapped, you can get it before it's released at a show. But until it's released on the 19th, that's the only way you can get it, is if you come see us.
Okay, and now these songs that are on it are going to be on the album coming up too?
Yes.
I think
well, maybe not.
3 of them would be contenders to also be on the album.
Right.
Okay, so this is literally like almost kind of like a teaser, a 4-shot, something coming up ahead that, okay, this is what you're going to get, but maybe these songs don't make it.
Yeah, so it's up in the air now.
I don't know, Elliot's got a look on his face.
I mean, we'd like him to be on the record.
I think there's a few good contenders on that EP of the songs that we have written for the record. But again, going back to having a plethora of music to choose from, and then sitting down with, the powers thereof and
deciding
which ones make the record.
Yeah, there's like 16 songs tracked.
Yeah.
Or something.
So now it's just what baby is more important to you, which child is loved more than the others.
Right. And so we just basically go, oh, Clayton wrote that song. We're going to take that one off.
With us today.
Yeah. Jeez.
And then the album's what, next year?
Beginning of next year.
I guess the focus was in kind of discussion that's up in the air. Kind of putting it out in January of next year.
Okay. Yeah. Now, right now on the EP, of course, you guys are working towards another single right now, your second one, Zombies in the Sun, but your first one was the cover of the Beatles tune, Eleanor Rigby.
Yes.
How did that come to be? And essentially also the other question, the follow-up to it would be, how was that chosen as the lead, as the introduction for the band?
So, the guys were playing around with that song. And then when I came into the group, they showed me it, and I, within an hour, I went and tracked vocals, and we started bouncing it off. other radio people and Eric and Fat Guy, and they came back to us and they were like, dude, this is a great rendition. You guys have your own twist on it, so let's roll the dice. And that's kind of how we threw it out there. And again, it is risky to cover the Beatles, as we all know, but we thought we did its due diligence by it, and
you put your twist on it. You kind of maintain the original, but also adding your flavor to kind of show people.
And I think that's what's important doing a cover.
You don't want to just do it entirely the same, because then at that point, what is the point?
I mean, you've heard covers where it's like exactly the same. It's just a different voice, and you're like,
Yeah, did they just lift the actual original version and just put the vocals on it? I mean,
exactly. And it was cool to do, especially because the original's it's pretty much orchestrated. There's no guitars, there's no drums, so we basically heard it and we was like, yeah, we can do this. This is gonna be cool.
It was relatively easy to get the licensing, wasn't it? Like you just called them and said, hey, we want it.
Yeah,
it was pretty easy.
Fox agency, and it was super.
And just no. Hey, we need to hear the cover first before we approve it. Nah, just go ahead, guys. It's all right.
Right? Sue me later.
We got stuff to do.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if maybe one day you guys actually hear from maybe like Paul McCartney or something on his ideas of it.
We joke around about that. I'm like, hey, you know what? Maybe Paul will join us on stage one day for this song.
He can do the scream parts, right?
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Paul, I'm gonna need you to scream on this part. Thank you.
Now, Elliot, we were talking just before we started this interview here off air about Rock on the Range.
Yes.
You were there along with, was it Mike, I believe?
Mike,
right?
yeah.
Mike was there with you. You guys were there kind of doing your setup for everything, kind of meeting everybody. You weren't playing, but you were there.
Yes.
And you guys got to go around, got to do a lot of interviews. And was there anybody there that you actually met that you thought was cool, like one of your a band that you loved?
I didn't necessarily meet a lot of the bands, but there was a lot of bands there. Half the time Mike and I were trying to get our time in, with you guys.
Right. You guys were working hard.
Yeah,
except
we were.
For that one particular thing we talked about, and let's get to that right now. You guys love the app. I don't know about everybody in the band. At least you and Mike do, Elliot.
I don't love the app. Don't throw
what are you talking about?
Don't throw me under the Tinder bus.
Right.
Oh, jeez.
Wait, do you have a girlfriend?
Yeah.
All right, well, Mike loved the Tinder app. He was showing me the app. But it was so funny because what we did is that we thought about this and we were like, all right, we need to make a video about this because on Tinder you can go ahead and like, oh, hot or pass. Well, we came up with our own version, functional and dysfunctional.
Yeah.
Use your imagination there. And finish it, Ellie. What did we do?
So we walked around Rock on the Range with these two pieces of paper that, of course, said functional and dysfunctional. And at Rock on the Range, if you've never gone, there's a variety.
Oh, it is. The entire pool of humanity is at this show. Everything that you can imagine.
Everything you can think of.
Every stereotype.
Yeah, and you get tons of characters, but, and Wes, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we held up the dysfunctional sign more than we held up functional.
So what we did was they would walk up. I was standing off in the distance with my video camera, and they would stand behind the girl. And would hold up the sign. The girl not even having a clue that what was going on. I think a couple times they turned around, but they looked at you like, I don't get it.
Yeah. People would notice us walking around, like, what are these people doing?
Yeah, there was a couple people that were like just staring at us, watching us like the entire time when we were like in a section of the crowd just doing it, but they never saw it.
That's awesome.
So I still got to produce that video. I still have the files, but we never did the full boom to it. So
video, I want to see it.
It was fun.
Quite entertaining.